Hello everyone, hope you're doing alright. This is the third part in our tutorial series about Blender basics. I gave you a challenge at the end of the previous lesson, hope you managed to do it. Before we tackle today's lesson about manipulating objects, I'm gonna show you two things, the outliner and how to select objects. The outliner is this area in the software. It shows every single object in your scene, and they are organized via collections, which are a kind of folders. You can create a new one by clicking on this button, and if you double click on it, you can change its name. Then you can simply drag and drop an object from one collection to another. I'm gonna drag my camera here. And if you right click on a collection, you will be given a few other options. Remember that if you delete a collection, instead of the hierarchy, deleting a collection will not delete the object inside of it. My camera is still here, and I'm gonna drag it back to its original collection. On the right of each collection's name is indicated the number and the type of object within it. And on the far right, you've got parameter toggles for each collection, which you can filter using this filter button and choosing them in this list. And then, from left to right, you've got a toggle to activate or deactivate an entire collection, a toggle to make objects selectable in the collection, a toggle to hide or unhide objects in the viewport, and the last toggle is about disabling objects in the render, which is the process of calculating the final image. Now, I'm gonna make the object inside the third collection selectable by clicking on this toggle, and I'm gonna show you how to select objects. To select an object, simply left click on it, and you will see that it will be surrounded by an orange outline, like this. I'm gonna move the view so that I can see more dices. From now, if you want to add an object to the selection, hold the Shift key on your keyboard and click on the other objects. You will notice that the latest selected object has an outline brighter than the others. This means that this is the active object. We're gonna talk about it a bit later, but for the selection process, it is important. If you want to remove object from the selection, keep on holding the Shift key on your keyboard and click on the object. What is important here is that if the object is not the active object, the first click will make it the active object. You will need to click a second time to remove it from the selection. I'm gonna do it a third time on this dice as an example. First click, make it active. The second click will remove it from the selection. Another way to select multiple objects at once is by holding your left click and dragging a rectangle. All the objects within the area will be selected. From now, if you want to remove object from the selection, hold the Ctrl key on your keyboard and drag another rectangle. And to add object to this selection, hold the Shift key and drag the rectangle again. To unselect all objects, simply click somewhere in your scene where there is nothing to select, like that. Remember that the background is not selected because it is included in a collection where the selection toggle is inactive. Last time I showed you a tool to zoom on an area of your scene, but now that we can select objects, I'm going to show you another one which uses the same menu. Simply select an object and go to the menu View and click on Frame Selected. this will zoom on the selected object while keeping it in the frame. Just like that. This is it for selecting objects. Now we're gonna see how to manipulate them. Now, the manipulation tools are on the top left corner of the 3D view. They are the selection tools that we've already seen, the cursor tool that we're gonna see later, and the three main we're gonna focus on are the move tool, the rotate tool, and the scale tool. When I click on one of these tools, you will see that a gizmo appears on the object. If you remember the three axes that we've seen before, the x-axis in red, the y-axis in green, and the d-axis in blue. If you click on any of these arrows, it will allow you to move your object constrained to the selected axis. And if you want to cancel a transformation while you are doing it, you can simply right-click and it will revert back to where it was. In between two axes, you've got a colored square, which means that you will exclude the corresponding axis from the transformation. Clicking on the blue square will remove the possibility to move the dice on the z-axis, meaning up or down. It is only moving horizontally in the 3D space. If you use the white circle in the middle, this will constrain the movement of the dice on the plane of your screen. Now, if I use the rotate tool, you will see that it is similar. You've got the three axes to constrain your rotation, like this. You can also use the light gray area in the middle to rotate your object without any constraints, simply using your mouse. The circle in the outside allows you to rotate the object constrained to the plane of your screen. Finally, the scale tool will allow you to modify the size of your object, either constrained to one axis or removing one from the transformation. If you use the outer circle, this will scale your object uniformly, meaning on the three axes at the same time. That's it for the manipulation tools. But wait, I have a surprise for you. You might have noticed that below this dice there is a number. Yes, and surprise, there are numbers below each of these dices. Your new mission, if you accept it again, is to match each dice with its corresponding number. And then, I'd like you to manipulate the dices so that the face with the number is facing the sky. This way, you might see other letters on the side of the dices, and this will show you the next secret word. Good luck to you for this mission. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you next time. Bye.